Breaking good news. The Department of Homeland Security is not doing a surge on the Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio right now. So that is something we just found out within a few hours ago. And this one is personal to me because I have a child who's attending a college in Ohio in a county that's the same county as Springfield. So he sent a text to our family group chat letting us know that they were hunkering down and preparing for it. And the TLDR of all of this is that every single time that Donald Trump goes into office, he says hateful, racist, xenophobic things about the immigrant and migrant communities from non-white nations of origin. And he usually orders whoever his Homeland Security Secretary at the time to immediately revoke any protective status that those members of those community have in the United States. And usually they do it without following the law, without the process, without doing the proper review of the origins. Now, before I go into explaining what the TPS status is, what temporary protective status means, and let you know what the Homeland Security Secretary is supposed to consider before revoking it, something that Kristi Noem did not do at all. You should know that the governor of Ohio, Mike DeWine, had asked the Trump administration to let him know when they plan to make a surge, and he said that they said they'll give him 24-hour notice. And there's nothing from his office indicating that they're coming in, so I'm going to use that. Plus the fact that Judge Anna Reyes, who is a federal district court judge in D.C., had and she told the Trump administration by this morning, February 10th, Tuesday, 10 a.m., to get someone on the record under oath to let her know whether or not they plan a search, because they asked to appeal her decision of February 2nd when she decided to block Kristi Noem's attempt to revoke the TPS status of 330,000 Haitian migrants that live in the United States right now. And she said, before I make my decision on whether I let you guys stay my own decision, I need to know whether or not the reason why you're asking this is because you plan to make a search. So I need to know. And the person who filed the declaration is someone who says they're been at the Department of Homeland Security since 2006. And so they're veteran and they're familiar. And she says that she's not familiar with any surge, though there's ongoing efforts to remove people who are removable. But because of Judge Reyes' February 2nd order, that they will not be doing a surge on migrants either in Springfield, Ohio, or Miami, Florida, where there are a lot of Haitian immigrants there as well. So that's a little small reprieve and brief, and I feel a little bit silent relief a little bit. So here's more background if you're interested. Judge Reyes was getting a lot of praise because of the way she essentially shut down Kristi Noem's. And she's not the only one. She's the latest of several judges. 6 judges I'm going to highlight today really quick in this video made the same determination. Judge Trina Thompson and Judge Ed Chen in California that are reviewing challenges because Kristi Noem did the unprecedented thing in the 35-year history of the temporary protective status. She revoked all 12 statuses for all 12 countries. Now, what the program means and what it does is if the United States as humane and humanitarian nation recognize that there are some nations that are experiencing extreme turmoil, perhaps because of a natural disaster, as what happened in the Haitian earthquake, or there is a rampant influx of gang violence or political unrest and turmoil, and they identify specific nations and invite residents from those countries to come settle here in the United States on a temporary basis. You fill out an application, you pay a $500 fee or so, and you undergo a vigorous background check and make your way over here. So the people who are coming from these nations here have the resource and ability to buy a plane ticket to fly over here, to pay those fees. So usually you're going to be getting people who are more affluent, who can afford it. So you're not getting the criminals that Donald Trump has said. And before I go forward, let me let you know that the language that Donald Trump uses to reference immigrant and migrants, including beneficiaries of the TPS programs, which he says is like a sneaky link way for illegal people to come in the United States. And he says, in his estimation, it doesn't matter if they here under our laws, that he considers them illegal. And I'm going to read to you the fact that all of these things I'm saying were part of the orders that Judge Chen, Judge Thompson, and the 3-panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals included in their orders blocking the Trump administration from revoking these TPS status. And they mentioned the fact that Donald Trump has called them dirty, disgusting, filthy, garbage, destroying our country, invasion. She says we don't want them in our country. He's called them snakes. He said they have bad genes. eugenics. He said they are not nice countries. The people are not people. He said they are poisoning the blood of our country, destroying our country, and probably have AIDS, he said, of the Haitian migrants. And he says it's like a death wish of our country to have them come here, and they would not want to go back to their huts in Africa. So lots of racism there. And of the white immigrants, he says that they're nice and from nice countries. He's offered white immigrants from South Africa to come on a refugee basis, no questions asked. And of his Homeland Security Secretary, Kristi Noem, she's referred to members of the TPS status as known terrorists, leeches, foreign invaders, entitlement junkies. We don't want them to come, committing violent and heinous acts against innocent Americans, sucking to dry our hard-earned tax dollars. They're violating our laws. They're engaged in hostile activities. People of this country want these dirtbag outs. Now, the judges that have been reviewing these cases have noted, Judge Chin, for example, that the Venezuelan TPS holders have a higher instance of college attainment, and they have less criminality than American citizens. The Ana Reyes, in the opening paragraphs of her order, pointed out the fact that the 5 named plaintiffs in her case include a researcher working on Alzheimer's disease research, a lab worker, a woman who is a registered nurse, and a college student. Hardly the things that Homeland Secretary Noem and Donald Trump references in them at all. And you should know also that Judge Trina Thompson, in her order, pointed out the pattern that when Donald Trump's first Homeland Security Secretary in his first term and Kristi Noem, looking at the discovery, where they were able to look at the emails and the back and forth exchanges between the Homeland Security and the staff, said that they had made a predetermined decision that they were going to remove these people. And Donald Trump says, we're going to get them out of our country. And the minute I come in, I'm removing them from the country. And Homeland Security Secretary decided we're no longer going to consider the country status at all. And that's against the law. The law requires the Homeland Security Secretary to make a distinct, independent review based on data, facts, analysis of the country. She's also supposed to consult other agencies, and specifically this Department of State, and make that decision before revocation. She changed the policy without following the law, and Judge Thompson says it looks like it was pretextual. They already had preconceived notions about these people, that they're going to remove them based on their stereotypes about who they are, and didn't really do the proper assessment at all. In fact, Judge Reyes points out, and she posts in the first page of her order, the fact that Department of State has said of Haiti that it is, do not go there, that it's telling American citizens to not go to Haiti. And in fact, it's gotten worse. She says there's 1,400 pages that the plaintiffs and amici has submitted on the record showing the extent to which Haiti is not really a place that she needs to return back. Department of Homeland Secretary and Department of Justice says, well, it's speculative as to whether or not these people are going to return to dangerous conditions. And it reflects that she didn't do, what they admitted, the work. Because had she done the work, she'd have shown no, it's actual. When Secretary and Alejandro Mayorkas and the Biden administration extended the TPS status for Haitians, he noticed that there was actually rampant, just gang violence, and it was still a destabilized nation. And that's why he extended it to February 6th. And for Kristi Noem to revoke it, not as to this nation, but again, unprecedentedly, she revoked it to all 12 nations that are currently under TPS status. And it just matches with the rhetoric without doing the proper research. And if you go to the Department of State website, you'll see that a good chunk of these countries that she revoked have active Department of State warnings for Americans to not go there, which is a direct conflict, which shows that she really didn't care. Judge Ana Reyes said that the Homeland Security Secretary did not consider the devastating impact it could have on United States American citizen children to either be forced to follow their parents back home to a nation that they don't speak the language they've never been to before in their life, and according to our own Department of State, is a dangerous place that Americans should not go to, or risk just the trauma of being separated from their parents, staying at home, and the impact of all of that. Finally, she cautioned why the secretary did not consider the net benefits of migrants and immigrants, including TPS holders, that $3.1 billion of the tax income that is contributed by TPS holders and other immigrants go towards our federal, state, and local taxes. At $2.1 billion goes towards a local and state tax, which subsidizes Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. The TPS status holders have actually lower rates of criminality, higher rates of college education and participation, and more than the general population. She said that 14.5% of TPS holders are entrepreneurs compared to 9.3% of the American population, and that in 2021, 38,000 self-employed TPS holders generated $1.5 billion in business income. That's 1 year. She also said that Kristi Noem, in trying to revoke the Haitians, did not take in fact the consideration that of the 103,000 Haitian Americans in the United States, that they comprise the sixth largest group that are supplementing our healthcare industry. And in time and era where there's a nursing shortage and there's overworked, understaffed hospitals, including a lot of rural hospitals across the nation, the net benefit of the migrants to the United States is high. And also, she didn't take in consideration, or she may take in consideration, Governor Mike DeWine of Ohio has said, please do not take away these Haitians because the Ohioan economy will be wrecked. In Springfield alone, Governor DeWine says that the Haitian migrants are actually revitalizing Springfield. I am going to post on the other side of this, I'm going to end this video with this, of a woman, I might place it here, who made a testimony during the 2024 when the former senator of Ohio, J.D. Vance, current vice president, was pushing forth this weird notion that Haitian immigrants are eating the cats and dogs, and Donald Trump repeated that during the debates, saying that it's dangerous. So this resident of Springfield said, actually, the Haitian immigrants actually buying up the border homes, and I'll let you hear it for yourself.
I was born in Springfield and I've lived here most of my life. I can't believe these Haitian immigrants would come here and fill jobs that local Springfield residents would not or could not do. And now they've raised the average city wage for both Springfield and Clark County. They're paying income tax to the city that the city desperately needs for services. They're making some of the local losers look bad by their example. It's unbelievable. The Haitian immigrants are working overtime to save up money to buy up all the dilapidated, condemned, and boarded up homes in Springfield, then fixing those houses up to make them livable again. This is raising property values across the city and county to the point where the valuation of all real estate in the city surpassed $1 billion last year for the first time ever. This in turn increases the property taxes paid to Clark County for those homes that are now no longer boarded up nuisances. I can't believe they're helping to fund our government and beautify our neighborhoods. These Haitian immigrants are now spending money in our community to where new restaurants and retail spaces keep opening up across the city. What absolute madness. Now we have new businesses in town generating more tax revenue for our city and county. I have a good paying job with great benefits, but because I have main character syndrome and the entire world should revolve around me, I want the exorbitant benefits that some of these Haitian immigrants get, which is $292 for SNAP, aka food stamps, and $363 in cash per month for a single adult. Everyone knows that $655 per month lets you live like a millionaire in Springfield. I don't need it, but I want it before anyone else, because why should we help folks who have legally come to our country, but they have to wait for their work permit so they don't starve? Feeding the hungry in our community? This is lunacy.
For certain nations, I'm going to see which ones, if you benefit from one of those, which countries? You could, okay, if you're one of the DED states, if you are you might be deferred enforcement deportation first to Liberia, Lebanon, Hong Kong. So you're a resident of Liberia, Lebanon, and Hong Kong. You may have some alternatives relief just in case. But everyone else, hold on. We'll see. The judges have your back. They're trying to make this administration act right, but it is what it is. If she revokes it and it's challenged and it's blocked and it goes up to the Supreme Court, hopefully the Supreme Court tells the Trump administration and Homeland Security she cannot use racism, and she has to actually look at the country and look at the conditions, especially for Haiti and especially for Venezuela, which is it's a wreck right now, to revoke the status of those folks, especially and counterbalance with the truth that the TPS status holders usually are college educated. They're not depending on the government. They're more likely actually are participating and contributing and helping society and doing the exact opposite of what Kristi Noem and Donald Trump have said. But they're motivated by their own hate, their small-mindedness, their inability to get out of, remove the block of racism from their screens. And so they're trying to policy by racism. And that's what the judges are trying to say. I want to close with a couple of statements that from the actual judges. Judge Mendoza said that the Trump administration should not be given the deference, and instead that the judges' jobs is to be vigilant in making sure that the administration abides by the United States Constitution and Administrative Procedure Act. And Judge Anna Reyes says that Kristi Noem can make all the discriminatory decisions she wants to, so long as she follow the laws. She says there's a thing in law that says if you pound the facts, if you have facts, you pound the facts. If you have law, you pound the law. If you have neither, you pound the podium. And in this case, pound X. So it means social media, but it's not going to work. All right, JJ Legal, each one teach one. Stay tuned. I'll keep you updated with what's going on. I have future content regarding what to do if you are arrested by ICE, what you should be saying, and what you need to do immediately if you are arrested or detained. I'm going to go inside my Know Your Rights cards that I offer as part of a Trump Survival Kit in exchange for email. If you want to go get that, it's at jjlegal.com. Totally free in exchange for emails. I also have access to court dockets, access to executive orders, with links to law firms that have actually dissected them. So all of that is free at jjlegal.com. While you're there, if you would love to support the work I do here, you can get me a cup of coffee, which is, I'd appreciate that. You can also consider buying one of my merch. Each one teach one, subtle ways to signal that you are a member of the resistance. You can also consider joining some of my membership community on Substack, Patreon, and YouTube, which gives you access to, after I do lives, you get access to the archives. You get a free case tracker, which I usually charge $5.99 for, upwards to like $7.99 for that. You get that free as part of your membership. You also get members-only videos and content. So if you like that, if you're interested in joining my community and be a member of my Jaybirds, someone said I should call them Jaybirds, because I was trying to think, what do I call folks who follow me? And I was like, Jaybirds. That sounds great, Jaybirds. So thank you so much to the Jaybirds who already purchased merch, who've already joined my communities. I appreciate you so much. You allow me to continue to do this work. I really enjoy edifying, educating, and I would love to be able to continue to do this for you guys on a full-time basis. And so your support means the world to me because it enables me to do that. All right, thanks again. And thanks to shout out to my Threads community, last but not least, because when I saw this, I said, this is so important that people need to know about this. And I said, hey, when I post this video, could you guys share it? And lots of people say, yeah, I got your back. I got your back. I share it. So if you share this video because of that, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Again, like I said, this matters because my kid is in Ohio. My kid's like right in the county with Springfield. So he was getting ready and we're all getting ready. My daughter right now is at an oversight hearing, or she might have left with Todd Lyons. I think his name was Todd Lyons. She's at a oversight committee hearings right now. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully she's taking notes. When she comes back, I'm going to ask her what she thinks about it. She's a little mini me, so she's a little mini woke. All right, take care. Thanks so much.